about each of their communities, and then we'll have time for questions afterwards for each of them. So if I could kick this off this morning by having Mayor Gord Milsom please come to the front.
Good afternoon, everyone. Yes, I'm Gord Milsom, the Mayor of the City of West Kelowna. I'm grateful for this opportunity to say a few words on behalf of the City of West Kelowna. The McDougall Creek wildfire has been shocking, traumatic, and devastating for the West Kelowna community. I wish to thank our residents for adhering to the evacuation alerts and the orders and for remaining calm. And it's, as been said earlier, it's very important for our residents to continue to adhere to those evacuation orders. And should there be new evacuation orders, it's critical that those individuals that are under new orders leave their properties immediately. Our hearts go out to those members of our community who may experience property loss. But I'd like at this time just to express my gratitude on behalf of City Council to many of individuals involved in helping us get through this situation. So I'd like to thank the West Kelowna Fire Rescue and BC Wildfire and the fire departments from many locations across our province. They've done an incredible job in saving homes and also in protecting our critical infrastructure. I also want to thank members of the RCMP, our local detachment, and other RCMP members who have come in support, and really thank them for their excellent work in ensuring that our community is safe. I'd like to thank the members, the officials and staff at the Emergency Operations Center as well for their guidance and oversight, and the volunteers at the Emergency Support Services at Royal Page Place. They're doing an awesome job. I really appreciate their caring service. They're looking after the temporary needs and some of the special needs of our residents who have been evacuated. I also would like to thank Premier Eby and Minister Bowen Ma for their continuing support. Much appreciated. And also I'd like to thank the media. Thank you for being here and thank you for your coverage and helping to inform our public on the situation. Finally, I wish to recognize and thank the many organizations and businesses within West Kelowna who have stepped out to help our residents in need at this particular time. And then, although there is much more hard work ahead of us, so we will overcome this wildfire and we will recover. So thank you very much for the opportunity to say a few words.
Thank you, Mayor Milsom. And if we might ask now for Chief Robert Louie from Westbank First Nation to step to the mic.
Good afternoon, Wildfires. I'm pleased to say a few words on behalf of my community, the Westbank First Nation, and all of our residents on the west side. This McDougall fire has been a very harrowing experience for everyone. I'm grateful that there has been no confirmed loss of life that we know of, and we hope that this remains. Very devastating for the loss of property and the impact of businesses that has occurred. There's lots of collective grief and high emotions, and I too extend my sincere best wishes and thoughtfulness to all of those who have lost their homes and businesses and having their lives disrupted as it is. I can only ask and certainly be as calm as you can, be patient, and remain vigilant. I too am very, very grateful. I give thanks to all of the emergency personnel, all of the first responders, the RCMP, all of the volunteers, and all of those who are involved to protect the lives and the property of everyone that is impacted on this fire. I'm especially grateful for the firefighters and the helicopters who helped preserve a number of our homes on the IR number 10 community here yesterday. They work furiously, providing that support, and I'm sure risked much to do what they did. And I am certainly grateful. I'm grateful for the 41 fire trucks and the army of firefighting personnel, because you've done a lot to save many of the homes and property in West Kelowna. I want to indicate that our utilities department on IR number 10 have removed the chlorine gas toners yesterday for safety reasons from the potential fire. This has resulted in the fact that the water is not safe to drink right now, but it's for the safety of all of the residents. So this will remain in effect until we can reinstall the chlorine gas toners. I want to say as well that we are working together as one overall community, be it the Westbank First Nation, be it West Kelowna, be it the City of Kelowna, be it the province, be it everyone that's in this crisis situation. And I'm grateful for all of that happening. I want to indicate that our Westbank First Nation Gymnasium on Quail Road and Community Center is open to the general public for accommodation and food and emergency services, and we will do the best we can to assist anyone that's in need. I too encourage everyone to respect the evacuations when it does happen. It is for your own safety and for the safety of those who are there to protect you. I know we're much dependent on the winds, and this is something that creates even more devastation. And certainly my people, myself, pray to our great Creator to allow the winds to reside to a calmness. And I want to thank all of our people, all WFN staff and personnel, for their hard work, their tireless time, little to no sleep. All of the First Nation responders, all the emergency personnel, you've done a great job. All of our people who have provided equipment and firefighting services, I say thanks, Limlum. Limlum to everyone. Thank you for this opportunity to say a few words.
Thank you very much, Chief. Next, if we could please have Mayor of the City of Kelowna, Tom Dyas.
Good afternoon, everyone. As we all know, the last 48 hours has been a very difficult time for the citizens of Kelowna, West Kelowna, Lake Country, our First Nations, and all of the communities throughout the central Okanagan. And as we have heard from our fire chiefs, it's not over yet. There is still a lot of work that we need to do to make sure that everyone is safe. And on behalf of myself and my council colleagues, I want to extend a sympathy to all those citizens who were directly impacted by the events of the last 48 hours, and ask for their patience and awareness, because we still have a little bit more of a journey to go. This is an extremely stressful time for all those involved, and our thoughts are with all of our citizens. In Kelowna alone, there are approximately 5,053 properties on alert and 2,057 properties that have that are under order, meaning people have had to leave their homes. While the immediate focus is on fighting the fire, we do have advanced planning teams working on recovery plans, and more information will be available in the coming days with regards to individual structures. I want to thank all of our first responders and support staff who are working around the clock on the fires throughout the central Okanagan. And especially I would like to thank our fire chiefs, emergency support services, emergency operations center, and all of those who are working on fighting the fire themselves. All of those first responders who, as we get further and further into this, obviously are feeling tired with respect to what they are doing, but continue to work through it. Thank you very much from all of our communities. We have had an overwhelming response from other levels of government and jurisdictions, and we couldn't be more grateful. Premier Eby, Minister Sagen, we've had MP Tracy Gray, MLA Renee Merrifield, MLA Ben Stewart, Minister Vaughn, have all been in touch with us and have all been reaching out to us to see what they can do to help our communities get through this. Everyone is doing all they can to keep the residents safe and to look out for the best interests in these trying times. For accurate information, as many have said here, regarding the fires, including evacuation alerts and orders, please go to cordemergency.ca. And for specific impacts to the city of Kelowna, programs and services, please visit kelowna.ca or wylkelowna.ca. Currently, the Kelowna International Airport, Glenmore Landfill, Knox Mountain Park, and the Dilworth Mountain Park remain closed. I can't stress enough that information is extremely fluid, so please visit the above channels for accurate and up-to-date information, as we have all been mentioning. Lots of people are asking how they can help. Please check in with family and friends, and if you have specific space to offer to those who are evacuated, because there is very little hotel space. This will be a trying time, as it was back in 2003 with regards to individuals from an individual mental health standpoint, and also when the information comes out with regards to structures on the loss that they've incurred. If you know individuals or with individuals, please be there for them. Obey evacuation alerts and orders and stay out of active fire zones. And as was mentioned numerous times, boaters, please avoid the area north of William R. Bennett Bridge to ensure safety as bombers and emergency crews continue to work in those areas. And share accurate information you have from cordemergency.ca. We continue to ask people to avoid travel to the central Okanagan, including Kelowna. These next few days are critical for our community. We will let you know when it's safe to visit us, and we welcome you at that time. And we appreciate your understanding that during this time, we need you to just stay away from the central Okanagan so that we can deal with the fires and our roads are not clogged and our hotel rooms are available for individuals who have been evacuated from their homes. Well, these last few days and the days ahead are going to be challenging. I know from experience, together, this community, this region is strong enough, and we will survive, and we will rebuild. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor Dyas. Next, if we could please have Mayor Blair Ireland from the District of Lake Country.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. My name's Blair Ireland. I'm the mayor of Lake Country, and our fire chief could not attend today. So, as he's out there trying to do the best for our community. So it's incredibly important for him to be there and not answering questions and dealing with that sort of thing. Challenges have been really conditioning, really struggling overnight. Crews are working hard, but the winds are super challenging right now. I live right on the water, and I've been witnessing this every day. We have lost structures in Okanagan Center. We cannot get into the details. They're presently fighting fires all around that area and trying to save them. Our fire team, I visited them briefly last night, and last night they were overworked, and they're continuing to work hard. So we'd like to say thank you to all of those other fire departments from all over the province that have come, from as far away as Vancouver Island, holding up a ferry to get here to help us. That's really appreciated. And it's not just the firefighters. There's been police come from everywhere. And right now in our community, we need those police. We have a lot of activity along our area. Lots of people trying to visit and get views of houses. We have a lot of boat traffic. I personally witnessed the RCMP chasing yachts away from our area that were cruising up and down this morning, and it's very frustrating that they have to pay attention to that sort of thing. They're here to look after our communities and look after our people and us. So please, people, stay away. You can see the fire on TV. It's not that great, trust me. We will try to inform people as soon as we can about the structures that have been affected. But we urge them to be patient. We need to keep doing what we're doing. and focusing on the goal of trying to protect everybody. So we appreciate that it's very stressful not to know, but please be patient and hang in there, and we will try to get to you as soon as we can. You know, on a slightly positive note, we were able to save quite a few structures in Okanagan Center because of our recent water main upgrade. You know, we had a really old water main in that area that wasn't providing proper fire flow, and really literally 2 weeks ago it was commissioned and working, and that increased pressure saved a lot of homes. So we were quite lucky there. We want to also say a big thank you to all of our local businesses that have kicked in and helped out, and they were helping out at the ESS, they were helping out with the fire department, and they continue to help, and we really, really appreciate that. I think a lot of my colleagues have said before that all the volunteers that are, and everybody who's trying to help, we appreciate your efforts so much. But at this stage, really try to look after your neighbors and the people around you. It is very, very stressful for people. You know, I live in an older neighborhood with a lot of elderly people, and you know, they don't know what to do. So we need to be there for our friends and our family. That's the most important thing. You know, people that are around, those businesses that are helping us, continue to support them because they need your support. You know, we're asking tourists to stay away right now, and I think Mayor Dyas said it well. We will welcome you back when we're ready. We certainly are not happy that you're not here right now and enjoying the Okanagan the way that it should be. But please stay away, and locals, pay attention to those local businesses because they're the heart of your community, and they're the ones that are helping out in these tough times. So also, you know, please don't call our district offices. You know, courtemergency.ca, that's where all the answers are. All the information is there. Our staff is busy coordinating all the efforts. There may be more evacuations this afternoon. It all depends on what the wind does and what it does to our community. And so please go to courtemergency.ca for those answers to those questions. They're coordinating everything. They're doing an excellent job. Without them, you know, this is the gold standard of information and coordination in this province, and we're so lucky to have that. I don't know if there's much more that I can add there. So, you know, everybody be patient, look after each other. That's key, and we will get through this, and we will rebuild. We did it once before. We've done it time and time again, and we will continue to do that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor Ireland. And last but not least, our Regional District Board Chair, Loyal Wooldridge, please.
Hello, everyone. Hello again. My name is Loyal Wooldridge. I'm the board chair for the Regional District of Central Okanagan. Today, I'll be speaking to the effects in electoral area west, as well as impacts within our Emergency Operations Center. This has been an incredibly challenging couple of days for our region, particularly those in Traders Cove, Wilson's Landing, and the northwest side. We've experienced loss before, and we've experienced loss again this week. And that doesn't diminish the level of anxiety and collective grief that people are experiencing in these communities. My heart goes out to many of those who are experiencing evacuations and structural loss for a second time since the White Rock Lake wildfire in 2021. And we know the community in electoral area west is resilient and kind and closely knit, and they will get through this tough time together. And I know that Director Wayne Carson is working diligently with his community members to ensure they feel safe and supported at this time. We've been here before and we've learned. We know what to do to get through this. And right now we know that these frequent and updating informative press conferences are crucial to giving confidence in the community. At the Regional District of Central Okanagan, we already have teams planning in place for what recovery will look like for our communities. But at this time, we're still very much in the midst of an active wildfire that's dynamic and ever-changing. And so our focus remains on ensuring the safety and well-being of residents and first responders. We know that people are anxious to get home and know the outcomes of the structural loss, but please know, after the fire is out, this work will be done and we will make sure that neighborhoods are safe so that you can go home. Please know as soon as it's safe to go home, we will let you know. We ask you to continue to be vigilant, to stay informed and follow the advice of emergency personnel. As it's been stated many times today, the place to find information is cordemergency.ca. That's CORD emergency.ca. That is the official source of information for this fire. If you haven't already, please subscribe at cordemergency.ca to receive email alerts. So there's a couple of things we're asking from the public. Number one is to be prepared. Make sure your home, your families, and your pets are prepared to leave at a moment's notice. Two is to be informed using cordemergency.ca. That is your official space to find out information. And three, as you've heard from our responders today, follow the directives of our officials. They know best. They do not take these orders and alerts lightly. As I said yesterday, and I'll say it again, please follow your evacuation alerts or orders of your area. Not abiding by these evacuation notices puts yourself and our emergency personnel at risk and delays the response to these events. As a reminder, if you're on an evacuation alert, you should be packed and ready to leave at a moment's notice. You can pre-register for emergency support services online to be best prepared, and I recommend you do this to manage the wait times at the reception centers. If you're put on evacuation order, you must leave immediately, and I'll repeat that you must leave immediately. It's not a choice, and you need to be prepared to be out of your home for an extended period of time. I extend my gratitude to the province for their announcement of the provincial state of emergency yesterday. As it's been mentioned, we're asking that people please do not visit the central Okanagan at this time in areas experiencing wildfire events. We want to welcome you with open arms when it's safe to do so, but our time and energy right now are supporting people that are evacuated, and the biggest need is accommodation. Accommodation for evacuees and accommodations for our fire personnel that have been evacuated from their camps. This is a difficult time, and as I said earlier, we have to be here. We have been here before, and we got through it together. And it's that sense of community that will continue to elevate us into the state of recovery. So stay safe, everyone. We will get through this together. Thank you. Lib Lib.
Thank you, Chair Wooldridge. That wraps up the presentations, and now we'll be available to have questions. If we can do what we've done before. So are there questions for Mayor Milsom for either online or in person? Mayor Milsom, if you'd like to step up to the podium again, please.
I don't know who wants to answer this because I don't know if you have different perspectives, but now that we have a provincial state of emergency, I just want to know how that is able to help your communities, if you've already seen that difference rolling out and what your hopes are that the state of emergency might be able to accomplish, whether it's resources or anything else. I'm just looking for some information on that.
I would, based on the number of residents that are under evacuation order, I think, yeah, it's going to help. Particularly when it comes to the need for accommodations. I spent some time. I've been spending time each day in our information center at the Emergency Support Services location at Royal LePage Place, and I'm just chatting with people and say, "Do you have a place to stay?" And I remember one couple said, "Well, we've been offered a place to stay in Castlegar," and I guess there's fires there too. And, and I said, well, if you Castlegar's a long way to go. Do you have a place to stay locally? No. When I went to City Hall this morning around 7 o'clock, a lot of people sleeping in their cars at Royal LePage Place. So we need accommodations. So I was pleased with the announcement that was made by the Premier and the Minister.
Mayor Dyas, you'd like to add on to that?
I will add on to it. Thank you, Mayor Milson. In addition to that, when Mayor Milson and myself signed a local state of emergency, there's entitlements that come with signing such an item. It allows for individuals who are evacuated to be able to cover some of their costs. It also it also allows for our fire departments and our RCMP to be able to go onto properties that normally they wouldn't be able to go on to be able to service fires. And when that is on the municipal level, but when it's also on a provincial level, what happens in having a discussion with Premier Eby is that what it allows for is it allows for them to access things on a federal level. So there's the connection with regards to Minister Sajan speaking, that they're trying to, I know Chair Wooldridge and I know Mayor Milsom, and I know I think we've all had discussions with it. So what they're trying to also look at doing is reviewing the situations on from a funding level with regards to things financially on a federal level. It opens up doors for them to consider to bring those into our community. So there's advantages there, and they also wanted to make certain that they were sending out that communication of concern for tourists coming into our region at this point in time. So there's more to it than that. There's more pieces in it, but that is the reason why they were looking at doing it also, so that there could be potentially extra supports there for our communities.
Thank you, Mayor Dyas. Are there further questions for Mayor Milsom?
Hi, Cindy White from Castanet. I was watching last night because I live in West Kelowna, the evacuation alerts and orders and the line going all the way up to the highway. How did you feel when you woke up this morning and you saw that it hadn't got to the highway?
How do I feel this morning? Well, anxious, when the first thing is step outside and look around and all we see is smoke. Yeah, so came to the office right away, try to gather as much information as possible. Phone the fire chief, phone our chief administration officer, few phone calls. So sure, like I felt anxious, just like the rest of our community. Yeah, it's hard to tell what's going on anyway. It's dark and it's smoky. So anyways, feel a lot better after having this conversation here today. So, and listening to the reports, but sure, I'm really concerned. We lost structures as well. I don't know how many, but certainly there's structures lost. And that's very, very concerning. So I really feel for our residents, and my heart goes out to them and their families during this time.
Thank you, Mayor Milsom. Let's move over to now. Are there questions for Chief Louie? Okay. And questions for Mayor Dyas? I think we did the same as we did before. We've had such great information. We're getting to the tail end of it. All right, let's do this. Are there any more questions for our representatives? I think that's it. We've done a great job. Thanks, everybody, very much.